had another great week. It's Friday. I don't normally go live on Friday, but I had something special come in today. I had this beautiful box. It is a very long box. This arrived in the mail, in the post, because a couple days ago, I think last week, I was at a flower show, and I think it was the RHS Marvin show, where there was this company saying, hey, we do subscription floral, right? We'll send flowers to your home, a bouquet of them to your home periodically. You can set the periodicity or whatever. And I said, okay, I signed up for it. And I'm giving it a try. You know, I like flowers. I buy flowers almost weekly. There's always a bouquet sitting in the kitchen. Just had Mother's Day, the American version. And so I picked up some flowers, went and picked some flowers recently for Blair. I was like, okay, well, let's see what can get delivered to me. This came in the mail. And I was like, you know what, let's jump on live, because I could do this and film it and then post it later, because I'd still want to show what I get. Or I could just go live right now, never open this box, and let's open it up together. But I will start off by saying I like the box. Now, what I was told was that these flowers were cut like within the last day or two to make sure they arrive pretty fresh after being cut. The box, nice cardboard. I think they also collect the box. I got a couple of emails and text messages telling me that the day that they were going to arrive. Oh, this is really nice. This is really nice. I want you to see. So this is what the interior looks like. We're going to just do this together. I have never, and this is not sponsored, guys. I just think it would be cool to just jump in here. I'm kind of putting this company on the spot, but if it's good, it's good. All right. Little pamphlet right here. Let's see what this is. Freddie Flowers. That's the name of the company anyways. Welcome to a flowerful life. I like that. And I think this is probably just going to be a little bit of a, let's put the box down for a second. Yeah. Oh, there's some instructions in here. Look at this. So it's not just the exterior of the box. The exterior like is nice, but there's like some instructions on the interior here. I have some water. I have a vase. But let's go through. Let's kind of take our time with this. There's no reason to rush, you know. So welcome to a flowerful life. A little pamphlet here. Hi there. Okay. Freddie gives a bit of his background, his story, how it works, fresh from a farm, unleash your creativity, stems of benefits, not friends with benefits, stems of benefits, give flower gifts, want to learn more. So they have more information on the website, and you can talk about it. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing, because if you ever decide to go with this company, I want you to have that opportunity to experience it for yourself. It's a really thick cardboardy type paper, and I'm trying to see, is this all of it or is there more? I think it's just this. I think it's like a trifold. Give your flowers a few days to open up and show off. So I think what they do, I think they send the flowers to you in bud. These actually, in defense, they arrived yesterday. So I'm a day late. I should have did this yesterday. I should have got them in water yesterday. So it's on me. I'm a little day off. But I like the pamphlet. It's thick, it's heavy. It feels like it has substance to it. I know it's a little pamphlet, but you know, when you're trying to grow a company, everything that you could do to impress the buyer helps. All right, so we have the inside of the box here. I'm gonna kind of turn this around. I can't read upside down. I know some people who can. I can't. All right, it gives you some water, vase, 1/3 full, change every 2-3 days. Feed, they give you a little bit of flower food, trim, take an inch off the stems. Yeah, I know this. So when you get your florals in, you take that inch off the bottom. It opens the capillaries up, and then that plant can redraw moisture up into the plant. Experience inspiration. Yep, so Facebook, admire me. So that's the box. I like the box. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool box. I think it's great for flowers, florals. And they delivered it. I told them where I wanted it, which is on the front stoop there. All right, let's dig on in here and see what else we get. Okay, this is cool. So this is what I was hoping for. And it says up, up and away. And what they give is information about all of the plants, the flowers that are included in this bouquet. Because that's what I was hoping for, right? Don't just send me some random flowers and have me try to figure out what's going on with them. I love to grow plants. I'm not a floral florist. So this is kind of new for me. But okay, so some alliums, blooms. Start by arranging the blooms. They tell you which ones to put in first. Okay. Place it in the center. And oh, it actually even tells you where to place them. So this is like put these in first, kind of around the exterior, then come back and add these in the center, and then kind of fill in here, and then the last will go into like would be the alliums. This is very instructive. So if you want to be able to put it together and have it look really good, and you don't want to have to try to figure out how to do it. I did a bouquet, I handpicked some flowers, I was aiming for the colors purple and white. This was last week. And a lot of people in the comments said, hey, you did a really great job. I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. One person said they needed to do a GoFundMe so I could go to school and learn how to put flowers together, florals, right? So I was like, oh, that hurt. But it's cool. All right, this is actually tied in place. That's cool. I saw a little string on the outside of the box. And here, just a simple pull this loose. So let me go ahead and do what it said, follow the instructions, add the water. Yeah, so that should be about enough water. Nice wrapping, nice, oh, these are nice. Okay, I see how they did this here. All right, yep. Where are my instructions? I don't have a lot of space here. I think the box is on top of the instructions. Now, here's the thing about cut flowers. Oh, this is cool. Look, they actually, because I was concerned that I was going to have to trim off those lower leaves. They've already trimmed them off. So that's cool. Now, I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel and not follow the instructions like line for line. But this is what you want to do. When you take your flowers out, you're doing your own floral. You want to cut off about that bottom inch. Try to get sharp shears that will cut through cleanly, right? You don't want to press down and have shears that are dull and wide and they're pressing, because you want to do a sharp cut, because that opens the capillaries back up, right? Now this plant can absorb and draw moisture back up into the stem and into the flower. And so with cut flowers, and a lot of people don't know this, when you get them from the store, they're sitting in water. But here, these have not been sitting in water. And I had the ones that I picked. The first day, they don't look great. They look like this. They look a little wilted. And you're like, did someone just send me a lot of wilted flowers? Yes and no. What's going to happen is, as it sits in water over the course of the next day or so, it's going to draw water up into that plant. And those leaves are going to fill back out. And the blooms are going to fluff back up. Oh, these are pretty. Look at that. These are really pretty. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go around the outside. I should be following the instructions. Let me see what the instructions say. Uh-oh, where's the paper? It's a little bit hot today too. All right. Kind of group them. It's kind of what I'm doing. So you group in 3 groups of pink. Just kind of say it by color. But they have the flower names. So put those 3 right there. And I'm going to go across. If you know the color wheel, that's how I like to do mine when I'm thinking about florals. I'm thinking about matching colors across. So if you're looking at the color wheel, these appear to be so far colors that are similar. So it's like 2 types of purple in here, pink. So you're gonna need some contrast. If you have like purple, then you're gonna jump across the other side. There's gonna have to be some yellow to contrast that purple. So this is a very beautiful, this is a very like faint, very pale, almost a, a lilac type color, beautiful flower. It's fragrant, but not in a good way. It's just kind of, it just smells like a plant, like it's grassy, like a plant. Sorry that the sun keeps shifting and I had to move the whole setup. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to set up a little higher to keep the sun from like doing this glare thing over my head. So doing those 3 on that side. Yeah, they mostly just smell, these are not very fragrant. They mostly just smell like, if you know, like plants. Okay, so I have a grouping here, I'm gonna do another grouping. So it's like 1, 2, and then 3 right there. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so these are alliums, and I love alliums. They've already opened up, but they're really nice. These will go in last because they're going to kind of go in the center. So I'm going to set that to the side. So they have flowers actually in the box laying this way and laying that way. So it's kind of like this in the box. I think that allowed them to get more, because if you put them all in one way, they kind of will poke up out of the box. So they kind of did them like that. Really well packaged. Oh, these are pretty. I'm going to come back to that. I want to get all of these other ones in first. Oh, okay. So let me go back to these yellow. I told you, if you're doing purple, then you're going to want to contrast. And if you're doing florals, you should have a color wheel. I keep a color wheel. I don't have one in here with me. It's in the other room. But I keep a color wheel with me so I can look at my colors and see which colors are complementary and which colors are on the opposite side of the wheel. But if you're going to have like these purples, all right. Okay, so these yellows kind of go in the center and they just kind of fill in. That yellow just kind of fills in. But first, they sent 3 of these, which this actually looks like a chrysanthemum. I think that's what this is. And it's cool because it has like this little netting. That's that attention to detail right there. Look at that little netting on that to keep that bloom nice and compact and in place. I don't want to pull that off. I actually want to cut that off very carefully because I'm afraid that if I pull it off, it might mess up the bloom. But then if I cut it off, I have to be careful with that too. It expands. No, it doesn't cut very easily. I may just have to pull it off. But I want to be very ginger with that. I don't want to risk messing up the flower. Okay, I'm going to be just kind of pull it out, expand it, expand it, expand it. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. Look at that bloom. It almost looks like a rose. It's not a rose. I would say based on these leaves that this is a chrysanthemum, but that's really pretty. That's really nice. Look at that. So there should be 3 of these. Again, every one you cut off about that bottom inch. Snip that off. So 1 right here. That's a pretty flower. There should be more. Oh, there's different layers. I was wondering where the rest of the flowers were. So there's this silver wrapping in here. So on top of it was 1 layer of plants, and then below that silver layer is a whole nother section of plants. Not too many. The rest of the alliums are in there. And the other 2 of these. I'm surprised they were able to get so much in the box. I mean, the box was really long, but it didn't seem to be very deep. But they managed to get a lot of flowers packed in there. Again, very careful, because if you pull this off aggressively, you will rip those petals off of that bloom. And this is such a beautiful flower. As soon as that plastic comes off of it, it starts to just unfold and just unfurl. It is beautiful. It's really, and I love like multi-petaled, a lot of petals packed in there. And so I think I can tell you right now, I haven't finished doing this, but I love the attention to detail already. And I will stick with it at least for another, period, because the peonies are going to be blooming any day now. My peonies are big buds right now. The peonies are going to be blooming any day now. So this is supposed to be it's supposed to kind of a triangle, 1 here, 1 here. So like 1 here, 1 here, and I guess the other one would go there. It's kind of hard to build a triangle out of a circle, but we'll do that. All right, here's the last one. Same thing, take the same care with taking this cover off. So I've been going to a lot of flower shows. I went to the RHS Malvern show. I went to, what other show did I go to? I went to another show earlier than that. And at each show, they had floral art. And next week is the grandest of all flower shows, which is the Chelsea Flower Show in London. That's next week. I'm still debating over whether or not I want to go to Chelsea. And the biggest problem is parking. It's just so hard to get a place to park. And then I don't live near London, and I had to drive down. I could take the train down, but I'm probably going to buy a lot of plants, so I wouldn't want to bring those back on the train. So that's just going to be a bit of trying to figure out. But at the flower shows, they have a lot of floral displays, and I've been looking at those displays and like, oh, those look really cool. So I'm going to keep these three grouped together and just kind of create a triangle here. Let me move this over a little bit more so you can kind of see. So it's a bit of a triangle, like one here, one here, one here. And then I have these flowers grouped here. I have these flowers grouped here, and I have these others on the other side grouped. So I'm doing those groupings. And what else do we have here? All right, and so the last thing that's left, there's two, is one is this yellow flower here, and this is going to Sodigo. I'm not familiar with this, but I'm going to put this in kind of in the center, and it's just going to fill in a lot of empty space because there's a lot of empty space around in here. So I'm going to get those in the center, snipping off that bottom edge. One there, and then kind of one here. And then we're going to get this last one right here. And this is pretty good because I'm feeling like this is starting to have, I'm almost gonna have to stand up. This is starting to have me looking like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, adjust the camera up. Okay, because now I'm operating at this space. All right, following the instructions, which the instructions are pretty cool. You know what, normally you have to pay people to get this type of a video, but I like it. I like the product. I like what they're doing. And they have in the center the three alliums doing the same. So it's repeating triangles. So it's like one, two, a group here, a group here, a group here. And then with the yellow, one here, one here, one here. So it's like triangle, 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 triangle. Then in the interior is just the yellow, no triangle. And then you are going to use a triangle with the alliums, which I love alliums. These are perennials. They'll come back every year. So I'm going to go find a space. There's one. Now these get really large. Their allium Globe Master is one of the largest. I mean, it's almost the size of, in the US, it's a soccer ball. I guess in the UK and the rest of the world, so football is almost as big as that. I mean, can get really large. There's some that come in white, different colors, also different shapes. Some of them are flat-headed. And then again, repeating that triangle type shape. Now I have some alliums growing in my garden outside. So if these kind of fade a little early, then I could just replace it. And then going on this side, just kind of finding a space in there. And that's it. So they mentioned some flower food. Let me see where is that in the box. Oh, here it is. And it says change the water like every 2 to 3 days. I probably should have put put this in the water before I jammed all those stems in there. Yeah. So I should have put that in first. I didn't put it in first. I'm going to actually mix it into, I don't want to just kind of pour it in because that won't go well. I had a bit of water left here. Put it in here. Just kind of stir it. And I will refill this water every 3 days. You change this water out. So I'll dump this water out and I'll continue to use this vase. This pitcher. Now that's stirred, it's dissolved. It's dissolved pretty good. And now I just pour this in. So the water level will be a little higher than I like, but it should be okay. You do want to try to keep the leaves out of the water because it's just going to get in the water and they'll just kind of mildew. And so you want to try to keep that out of the water if you can. I do appreciate the fact that they had already cut everything for me. The cool thing is, as I mentioned, the box, I think they want to recycle it. So the next time I get a delivery, I think they want me to sit this out and then they're going to collect it. I do it on the website and check. Now, what I'm really excited about is I get to keep this, right? So it has the plant names, the plant types, and it has the design. So whenever I want to reproduce this exact or similar design floral pattern, I have now a nice little pattern that I can keep. I mean, you don't throw this away, you keep it. And if you want to, you could, like, if you're keeping everything digital, of course you could digitize this by taking a picture of it. But I think this is pretty cool. So it cost, they had a sale going on. I think it was like 23 pounds. And you say that's kind of pricey, but you should see how much the bouquets of flowers cost in the shopping centers when I go there. They're not cheap. The peonies right now are 15. And so if I were to get 2 bunches of those, then I'd be right back at the same price. It's just the peonies. Those are expensive. But I like this. I like this a lot. And the thing about it is that it's going to, what we have tendencies to do is we would repeat colors, repeat plants. I know me. I know the types of plants I like. I know the colors that I like. So if I'm buying, I would probably buy the same thing over and over again. But this is, I feel as though, going to give me the opportunity. I'm pretty sure these are designed by actual florists, and they're looking at what's available and what goes well together. And they can introduce me to flowers that I would not otherwise purchase, buy on my own. Like these little pink ones here. These are very delicate. On this side, like these are very delicate. They're going to, then again, it looks a little wilted. Within a day, everything's going to fluff back up. It's going to look much better. These are going to unfurl a little more. The alliums they're going to all, just kind of bloom back out a little bit more. And it's on me. I'm going to take the hit for this because they stayed out of water a day longer than they should have. So if I got them in the water yesterday when they first arrived, then they wouldn't look quite this wilted. But I feel confident based off of what happened with the flowers that I picked last week. That bouquet is still going strong. They're still budding out and blooming. And so the focus is, and if you're ever going to do flowers for yourself and you go into a shopping center, you see flowers, I will tell you this, don't buy those blooms that are all the way open and they look really full, because they're only going to hold that flower, that bloom, for a couple more days. And you take it home, it's going to start dropping petals. You want the ones that's a little tight, that's not quite unfurled as much. Those are the ones that you want to buy and take home, because that will give you more time with your bouquet of flowers. Another thing to consider is, so because these flowers, different flower species, they are going to go over, right? Not look as good at different times. I would figure these will probably go first, probably followed by the alliums. These will probably go last. And these on this side actually have these buds. So they may last a little bit longer. What I tend to do though is, as the flowers are starting to go over, I just start to edit. So if the bloom looks spent, it's starting to look a little droopy, it's past that point. Again, not now, just put these in water. But in a few days when you're changing the water, if you have some plants that look spent, all you would do is edit that out. Take that plant out, take out the other one, leave what's there that's looking still good. If you have your own flower garden, and I wouldn't do this, but you could do this. You could edit out a flower and add another flower in, edit out, add another. You could do that if you have a broad flower garden, but I would just probably keep the bouquets, have this one going, edit it out until it gets to that point where it doesn't look good in the vase anymore. Maybe drop it down to a smaller vase if you really want to keep those flowers, or take those, compost them because they're compostable, and then just go cut more flowers and then add that in. So I'm happy with this. This is, again, Freddie's Flowers. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think about it. The thing that I'm most impressed about is these, what I think, again, look like chrysanthemums. I'm not even sure what variety they are. I'm growing a lot of chrysanthemums here. These look nice to me. I like that a lot. This purple, which isn't a phlox. I know that's not what it is, but it looks really nice. That looks nice. And then the fact that you did the color combinations, which is going across the color wheel, they did purple and yellow. So purple and yellow, they contrast really well together. That's always a simple, if you want to figure which flowers look good, whether it's cut flowers or you're growing flowers, you can put those two colors together, contrast them. And I like to do color blocking. So if you do a color block of purple or a color block beside it of yellow, those could look good. So you're thinking about texture, height. You get into a lot of other things, but you could definitely put those two colors together. Purple and yellow looks good. You could contrast, right? White, black, but get the color wheel, look at the color wheel and figure which colors that you like, and then always go contrast. Complementary colors are the colors that's beside your favorite color. So that goes really well together. So you see like you have this purple here and you have this other color, which is not quite purple, but it's kind of a complementary. Those look well together. So I'm happy with this. This is going to sit. We'll see how many days it holds. I think it's going to do pretty good. I think it'll hold pretty for a little while. These little yellow flowers haven't even started to open up. Some of these smaller ones at the top are just barely open. These are really small. They kind of remind me of baby's breath. Baby's breath is used a lot in the US. Extensively, you'll have baby's breath in bouquets. And it's just a white flower and it does the same thing. It just fills in those spaces and fills in the gaps so that your vase doesn't end up looking empty. Because if you just had the alliums, think about how many alliums you have to grow just to fill up one vase with just alliums. So you're gonna always be a little thin on the alliums because they only send up one stem per plant. You can get multiple stems off of these. These are, greenhouse varieties. So they may do 1 or 2 stems per plant. These others will produce a lot of different stems. So I think it just looks good. I like the fact that they clipped the bottoms off of the leaf. They clipped those bottom leaves off. So I didn't have to do that because I thought I was going to have to clip those leaves off again. At the very bottom, take off that bottom inch. You always want to do that. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it looks good. I'm going to stick with it for a little while longer. When the next box arrives, I'll jump on live and do this same thing again with the next box. It should be entirely different plants, entirely different flowers, and we'll see what the next bouquet looks like. This is going to go to the table and it's done. I mean, that's it. So drop down in the comments, tell me what you think about it and let me know, and I will drop off this live and get back with you guys later.